There we go. All right, let me start here. Woo. I have so much I want to do. Like, I had 2 other videos outside of this I wanted to do tonight, but it's 11 and I'm tired. So I'm just going to do this one. So, hi everybody. My name is Lisa Phillips, if you've been following me for a while. I'm a real estate investor, best-selling author, but I also have this side. I'm an angelic channeler, angelic medium. I also channel mythical beings, my ancestors. And I put out the Ancestral energy reading because all these different people and psychics and mediums and channelers who do these readings, they generally tend to do angels, their own interpretation. And I find there's not a lot of melanated ones out there like myself who are just really tapping into our ancestors and what that means. And so because of that, I like to do this because you can see the differences in the guidance I get from my ancestors who are magicians, they're warriors, versus the other ones out there. I just find that their advice is a lot more straightforward and a lot more practical. So, with that, if you guys don't mind, let me get my book. I channeled this yesterday. It was a really good channeling session. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, Lisa the Soul Level Healer, I'll have links below. I did 2 classes over the last 2 weeks. One, how magic works, and the second one was introduction to channeling. They were both amazing, as I attracted some people who are very high level practitioners themselves, and they just needed to refine their own channeling. So let's see with the ancestral reading. Okay, so they're saying that the energy might be a little much. They actually use the word extreme. I think they used the word frightening, but that could have been I used it, so I don't like to say things that can be a little scary, but they said it might be very, very extreme, but it's part of the plan, so just go within. And I'm starting to see that, like, if you're looking at the U.S., like, if you're looking in the U.K. and Paris, lockdowns are coming, mandatory, vaccines are here. I mean, that is extreme. In the U.S., people are, the media is going crazy trying to have their narrative. You look at like 20 articles, they all say the same exact things. You're like, oh, this is so manipulated. But they're doing that, and like Trump needs to concede, and he's like, no, and you're hearing there's army raids there were computer glitches. Like, it's so extreme. Like, I'm not a part of it because, like, that's not my place and not my role. But if you're really watching, it's like day to day, they're like, we found computers that changed votes from red to blue, and they're like, no, that's a hoax, says the media. And then they're like, we just did a raid on this place, and they're like, that's a hoax too. And it really is extreme. So they're talking about vaccines here in the U.S. for like anyone on Section 8 WIC, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So it is full of extremes, but be like me and other 5D peep walkers on this earth. Don't get involved. It doesn't matter what they say they're going to do, because you can manifest your life that you want. You do what you're going to do, and they just have to get with your program, because in this life, you are an extra. You are an extra, or you're the main actor. So if you manifest the life you want and you think about the life you want, you create the life you want, it don't matter what they're trying to say, because at the end of the day, your power is infinite. Your spiritual sources and guides are infinite. And if you don't know how to tap into them, I spend a lot of time telling you guys how you can do it, even if you haven't developed your highly developed clairvoyant, clairsentient, the skills. Like, you can start tapping into the sources and your own power today if you wanted to, right? So it doesn't matter what anyone says, because you always have choices. You just need to start practicing and utilizing it so it becomes second nature. If you look at my videos before, 3D versus 5D people, on how like the responses were when I talked to my friends and family members, like everything they were pissed off about, I was just like, everything that they were like irritated about, I was like, yeah, I would just manifest the opposite. Oh, you don't like this guy because he always, he doesn't route the truck right? Well then, manifest every day I go to work, my truck is routed properly, da 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 da. Like, it never has to be anything. I mean, like, it's just time, patience, and you being the creator of what you want to see. All right. So, yeah, so that's what's going on. It is a bit extreme. I think it's going to get more extreme than what we've seen. And you're just going to have to learn to go within and realize that you do have the power and you are infinite. And we don't have to worry about that. So with that, I'm actually going to get off a little early. I had someone on Facebook. How are you guys doing? I wanted to do 2 more. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, I'll do 2 more videos I wanted to really get up. Hey, you're on.
Oh, hey. I didn't know if you were inviting me or pushed some kind of button.
You know, like, it goes like, hey, you can add this member. I'm like, if someone wants to come on and talk to me, I'm super friendly. So
how are you? How are you?
I'm so good. How are you, ma'am? How are you doing today?
This is the show.
Maybe not. Just, why are you attracted to this group right now?
But you know what? My spiritual journey, I think it started about 5 years ago when I just kind of got tired of, I won't say tired, I just became, I was thirsty. I was hungry for something.
Oh, okay.
More.
It was inside of you.
And I wanted to know more. I got tired of being spoon-fed.
Mm-hmm.
And,
too many questions that weren't being answered with spoon feeding.
Well, you know what? And then there were things that, you know, we were taught. I don't know what your background is or was.
It's crazy.
But as a Christian woman,
mm-hmm.
you know, you just learn to accept. You have faith, right?
Yeah.
And you don't question. And I'm like, I know God did not create us to just
sit there
and go along to go along.
Right.
And so it's funny because I've always heard people say when you're on this spiritual journey, things will start opening up. The universe will start opening up things, and
completely.
And things will come on your path, and so that's what happened. Yeah. It's just like once I opened up my mind and was ready to learn and grow, things just started coming to me, and different topics will come or a person's name, and I'll go research it. It just led me to another, And so
it's a path, right? It's a path. It's definitely like the word I like to use is synchronistic. Like everything is in sync when you start. Like it's so powerfully obvious. You know what I mean?
But I'm enjoying it. It's kind of a lonely world because it initially was. But I'm beginning to meet other people who are on that same path.
From the
there.
Yeah.
And they're feeding me or sharing things, and now I'm able to, I have somebody I can share with. And it feels so good. It feels great to meet people who you can really share your journey with.
Yeah.
And then they have the same experience.
Right. And it's energizing. Because, I talk about so many things, but when I talk about spiritual topics and I'm relating to other people on spiritual topics, there's like this energy channel that opens up. Like the energy, I get energized by the conversation, and I can talk about it forever. Do you know what I mean? Like there's an energy out of all the subjects I've ever spoken about in my entire life. It's when I'm talking about, oh my gosh, I learned this on my journey, and what about your journey? And it's all in a very spiritual manner. And it's just like, I feel like if I had to put a picture to it, it's like kids at school finding out, it's like kids at school and we're like, yeah, what are you doing? What classes are you I literally feel like that excitement that like you felt in college or high school when you're talking spiritual stuff with other people. And so that's why, you know, on my other platform is bigger than this one. This will have like 386 YouTube subscribers. And they're like, you know, why do it? But it's just like, wow, first of all, I feel like I should. But just second of all, I can talk about these subjects for hours. And like when people like you like join in, I'm like, oh my God, I feed off of that. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. So this past 2 years have been completely. It's kind of been a roller coaster ride because, of course, I don't know you. I never heard other people say that they'll run back to those old ways, but once you know and your spirit has you, it's hard to stay. You can't even once you try to go back, but
you took the red pill.
You said what?
You took the red pill. You can't go back into the Matrix and act like the Matrix doesn't exist. Which is literally how I view this world at this moment. I literally view it as a Matrix. That whole movie was just really amazing.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
It sounds like the zoo or something.
Oh, I do have a cat on my lap. And he's purring.
What is he breathing into the...
Yeah. He's not breathing. He does purr really loudly. So...
I wish you could hear what I hear.
Oh.
I'm like, did she have like music in the background?
Yeah. He's like, he loves neck rubs. Like, I mean, all cats do, but this one's a little like extra about it. So I actually was going to do a video on him because I just got him from the pound about maybe a week ago. And he started spraying and he was super scared, but he didn't act like he was scared at the pound. But I got him home and he's super scary, but I did like 3 or 4 angelic healing sessions to like calm the fears and release it. And so now he's using his litter box and he's a lot more chill and not jumping at every sound. So I was like, oh wow, that works on pets. So he's good now. Cause I was like, cause you know, there's things I throw in the towel in, and when it comes to animals, I'm like, Spirit, come on, y'all gotta help me with this. You know, and I was like, hey, you know, guide it to do a session. But I was like, yeah, I can't do it. Because I've had animals in the past. And when there's something that they're, like, just off about them, it is so challenging trying to train them in the way you want. On YouTube, Gemini Love, who is also in our Facebook group, she just wrote, they're filming The Matrix 4 in Germany right now. Oh, I gotta see the screenplay because it's gonna be. I bet you it's gonna be predictive of the future. He is. I got it from the pound. I think he is fixed, but I think it was stress and like when I looked it up, I think it was stress and him being just a big scaredy cat. But the sessions, I did like 2 sessions a day. Angelic healing sessions really worked. I worked with Archangel Sandafon. If you look him up, he is known to work with the animals. So that I just knew that. So because of my research before, so that seems to be working. Because I mean, he was gonna get sessions all day if needed. So.
Well, I definitely want to learn more about. You know, I just want to learn more.
So I did 2 classes recently. The first one was how magic works because my soul lineage is magician. You know, like it is what it is. I know in the church that like sorcery and witchcraft is thrown around a lot, but I'm like, hey, like that's what my soul truth is. But I also did one on introduction to channeling. So if you are interested, that was really fun. About 5 or 6 people showed up, and they were actually pretty, like, some were new, but most were advanced. And that was good because we actually shared a lot of, like, well, this is what I do when I'm trying to hear, or this is what happened, or I didn't know that's what it was called. So it was actually really good. So I'm going to be posting the links for that. So if you want to start, like, that connection, and I'm also going to do, you know, if you want to start doing these healing sessions and healing with the angels, Like, how do you do that? How do you start that? And I'm going to do it in 3 classes. 1, like how to heal with the angels for yourself and others. 2, how to take journeys with the angels, archangels. And I forget what the third one was.
I can only see half of your face.
You know, okay, how is that better?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, like if you want to learn like I'm very practical and experiential, and like I do with spirituality. It's not some mythical thing. Like I bring the spirit world into this world for, you know, peace of mind, manifestations, and just collapsing. I mean, we're all one. I'm really big into, you know, this earth walk and our spirits need to be collapsed. You know, like the ultimate for me and my ascension is when I can walk this earth as my spirit, embodying my spirit and all the power and the infinite it is, right? Like we are a spark of God. Like how much of can I empower my spirit on this earth? And so, like, when I teach, it's really much like, well, how do you bring that divinity into your life in different, very tangible ways? And that's what I, you know, do. So, hey, how you doing, Twitter? So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, if you're interested, like, I know, like, coming from a Christian background, I know what I do can be a little much because, like, everything I do, they frowned upon. Like, you're not supposed to be able to talk to archangels. Those are demons. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to do magic. That's sorcery. You're not supposed to... You need to be humble. You're not, you know, like, you know, you can't go straight to God, you know. I don't know. There's just a lot of different things that you can't or cannot do that I do. So I know it's hard, but if you're open to it, like, it is a wonderful life to be able to really integrate spirit in different types of ways, because there's different types of spirits into your life, and be able to communicate and have a conversation and heal yourself and heal others and your animals. So if you're open to that, like, that's definitely what I'm going to be doing here. You are for real. You are for real, for real. Gemini, where'd you hear that from? And you're Tina, right? Did I get that right? Tina?
Yes.
What was the question?
Do you, are you into the crystals and sage?
Very much so. That was in my How Magic Works class. But yes, my soul. So I've done a lot of soul work. That's one of the videos I want to do. People need to really understand how important it is to find out what was your soul. What's your soul? What has your soul done in past life? What is, you know, like, and my past life with crystals, like, I have a very, very, very deep connection. It actually started a lot of this because I'd wear them and I'd find myself reacting to them and doing certain things, and I'd look it up and I was like, wow, this is for real. Like, you can just literally wear a crystal depending on your resonance. Now, some of us in our past lives, like me, we spent a lot of time with the crystal kingdom and crystal elements, right? In past lives. So in this life, even before I knew, I pick up a crystal and there's this big energetic exchange, right? And I could just start using them. Other people have not had that past life, so they have to develop it, which will be then a part of their DNA for the future and for future lifetimes, right? But yeah, so it's just really interesting. So yeah, when it comes to crystal, yes, but I also wanted you to know I had very strong past life resonance with them. So that's why they just took off pretty immediately. You know, that's why some people are talented in this and other. Sometimes that goes back to your past life and your spirit. That is pure spirit. That is pure past life. You know, so yeah, I do that. Are you interested in learning it? Oh, I'll have to do a crystal course. I mean, there's a lot out there, but like, I just have a different conversation with them. But I got, what's that?
I just been following a few people online who's into the crystals and the sage and you know, like bless their home and cleansing.
Yes.
Negative energy. Something that, which I don't understand, like with Christianity, because they still say bless your home with the oil. So rather the oil.
There's so much magic in the church. What was the question about the oils? What were you saying about the oils?
No, I'm saying, what's the difference? You know, they
Same
said,
magic, same magic. I mean, to be honest, it is so funny. So the oils hold energy. They hold your intentions, right? The crystals can hold your energy and hold your intentions. You can use both to protect and seal and anoint your home. You can anoint your home, you know, you can anoint your head, you can anoint your house. I actually did anoint my house 7 times with blessed olive oil for my own protection because of what we're going into with all the spiritual warfare going on right now, which is very much like someone in the church would do, right? But then I also have crystals protecting my house as well. So you can, both are valid. If you're open to it, both are valid. And like, you're right. Like, there's so much in the Catholic Church. They're always lighting white candles when they have a prayer request. In the Buddhist church, I went to a Buddhist temple, light your candle. So then you have all these people in Wiccan and they use different color candles and it's coordinated to this. And they're like, but that's sorcery. And you're like, you need to really stop using that word. Yes. To me, it has like a negative connotation. Gemini.
Well, see, and that's what, and now that was the thing is like a lot of the practices in the church and the Christian, it's, even like.
It's the same.
Even like, okay, even with the communion, the taking the, okay, another talk, another day.
Right. Yeah, another talk. I'd love to. So, Gemini on YouTube says, she heard all that before as far as like, this is sorcery, don't do this, don't do that. You can't, like, she's heard all that too at church. Yeah. It's hard for me when I go on the church side of YouTube because there's a lot of things that are right? But then all the judgment comes and I'm always having to swallow it. I was like, oh, okay, just ignore this. Because the other parts were very accurate. But like, it's literally 50-50 for someone like me listening and like, okay, judgment and then, truth. Judgment, truth. And I'm like, you're just supposed to not judge. It's literally the one story everyone knows. Like everyone knows like 3 stories about Jesus. One's fasting 40 days and 40 nights, and the other one is judge not. But like, but it's hard, but it is what it is. I just have to learn to just understand that like what I do and how I practice is how they teach it is like I'm just not a good person to them because of it. But that's on them, not me. Gemini Love says she has lots of books on crystals. Girl. Yes. I don't have as many books, but like I use the internet like extensively, and I think I've looked up, half of the known ones at this point.
Are you vegetarian?
More so lately, since this shift has been happening. Right now, I'm on day 1 of a water fast, so I'm going to try to go 5 days. Just cleansing and detoxing. But before this last 2 weeks, I was going vegan. But just like, not morally or ethical, more like cleansing detox thing.
Yeah. So I've been eliminating.
Right.
So, been eliminating some, meats some days.
Yeah. Yeah. So Spirit told me, well, when I say Spirit, I mean my spirit guides and ancestors. They were like, right now, no beef and like heavy meats. Like fish, chicken, white meats, and more fruits and veggies. So that is a natural thing that I've been doing lately, which is cool. It helps me lose weight. So.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, I'm going to jump off. Thank you, Tina, for joining. I was speaking to Tina in the Facebook group who joined. If you guys ever want to join live and I'm done like with the main topic, I'm going to add you. So don't press it unless you want to join. Because I will add you into all of this.
I'm going to start following you.
Yes.
Coming on.
Do you go to my YouTube channel as well?
No, I was just finishing up some work and was looking. I saw you having a live and I thought, let me click on see what she's talking about.
Yeah, it was just the weekly energy reading. It's just going to be extreme. And I'm already starting to see it, but don't get caught up in it. It's part of the plan.
Okay.
It's part of the plan. All right. Thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you, Tina. Thank you so much for joining my lives. I always see when you come on. I appreciate your words. And yeah, if you ever want to come on again, just let me know. More than happy. Especially if there's a subject on your mind, you might have questions, coming on to this part of this side of the world. Right? There's questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
I am a big practitioner. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Gemini, chat with you soon. See you, Gemini. Thank you so much. I love talking to you as well. And bye, Periscope.